Here's my car, here's my fruit garden in my driveway. Hi, I'm Alex and I live in New York, but I'm growing dozens of tropical fruit trees. Most of them are in my driveway. Let me give you a little tour. There are two good reasons why I'm using my driveway as a fruit garden. The first one is, I gotta be honest with you, I ran out of room. I don't have enough sunshine, enough space in my backyard to grow these plants. My driveway gets flooded with sunlight, and that's what these fruit trees love. Reason number two is right here. It's my garage. It's unheated, so it doesn't stay much above freezing during the winter, but that's where these plants go every time it drops below 30 degrees at night. And let me show you the plants. And one of my favorite plants to toss into the garage are citrus because they're kind of cold tolerant. The problem with citrus is that they like to ripen during the winter time. There's some fruits that take like 13 months to ripen from when they go from flower to finished fruit. And that's not great because I don't want any fruit trees to be ripening in a New York winter outside or inside. We just don't get the sun. We don't get the warmth, no matter where you put a plant in the winter time. So look for citrus varieties that can handle a decent amount of cold and ripen quickly. Let me show you the ones that do well for me. Kumquats are pretty great. This one I actually got as a friend, and I will show you the variety on the bottom of this video. So what I love about this specific kumquat is that it seems to kind of just bloom whenever it feels like it. So I have some that are almost getting close to ripe, and then I have some that are, you know, literally were a flower like 5 days ago. So I'm gonna be getting fruit kind of on and off continuously throughout the year, whereas most citrus, they flower once. Let's start with Miss Popular, the Meyer Lemon. Meyer lemons are the most common citrus that you'll find at the grocery store, and mine had tons of fruit last year, no fruit this year. It's even looking a little bit yellow. And the problem is that it overproduced last year. I got so many fruit from it that this year it needs a hiatus. It needs a break. And so that's why it's not looking its best. I'm gonna give it some fertilizer in the spring and I will get some fruit from it. My kumquat, I absolutely love kumquats because you can't really find them at the store very easily and they're so easy to grow. I get flowers on and off from this. Most citrus only flower in the spring for me, but this one does flower on and off throughout the growing season. And I do have some nice fruit on this. This is not an avocado. It is a lemon. So no, my Meyer Lemon's not producing any lemons, but there's so many types of lemons. This one's a Ponderosa Lemon. It is gigantic. The leaves are gigantic. The fruit is gigantic and it tastes so good. It's so lemony, as a lemon should be, but there's just so much rind to use if you want a zest. There's so much pulp if you want to put it in a nice like chicken during the winter time when it's ripe. And it's a great container plant. It's been in this container for several years now and it does fruit every single year. I'm also growing a type of orange. I like my sweet fruits too, but most oranges take a really long time to ripen. Like navel oranges ripen in the middle of winter, and that's why sometimes on the news you'll hear them have freeze issues in Florida because they're very susceptible to freezes when they're just about to get ready to pick. So I don't have to worry with this one. This is an Owari Satsuma Mandarin orange. It's still green. All of these are green, but they will turn color when they're ripe in November-ish, and that's very early for a citrus. So again, you want to pick plants that can handle some cold and plants that can really ripen fast. I have failed with citrus many, many times in the past, and part of the reason why is because I didn't understand how citrus work. Citrus flush out with their best show, leaves, flowers, the whole shebang in the middle of springtime. If I brought them right inside the house in October, November, my house is like 70 degrees and they're gonna think it's spring. And that's when they're going to put on their best show. When they don't have enough energy for that show, they drop all their leaves and they die. So that's why they go into the garage where they just sort of stay dormant. They don't lose their leaves. Dormant for a citrus is just not actively growing, and they're happy enough. They won't look their best, but they won't look their worst. And I take them outside every sunny day we get that's above freezing and not like really bitter cold. This one's not tropical, but it's kind of subtropical. It's a Mediterranean plant, of course. It's a fig tree. It is the oldest fruit in human history. It's the first one we've cultivated, and it's not really a fruit by like your normal definition. It's actually an inverted flower, and what that means is you don't have to worry about anything pollinating this to get fruit. There's like this horrible internet rumor that there's a wasp inside every fig fruit, but that's only some really specialty varieties. None of the figs that you're getting at the grocery store have fig wasp digested inside of it, and definitely not these. We don't have any fig wasp in New York for it to go in. That said though, yellow jackets and bees absolutely love ripe figs, so you better pick those figs as soon as they're ripe off the tree, and you'll know that they're ripe when they start to sag a little bit. Let me show you. All right, so this is my fruit coming right off the tree. This particular variety is going to turn nice and purple. Some of them don't, and that's when you just sort of look for the sag. So this is the neck. When it starts to sag a little bit, that's when you know it's ripe. When there's a little softness to it, that's when you know it's ripe. So these aren't quite there yet, and they probably won't be until October. Some people don't have luck growing figs up in New York, and the problem is that some fig varieties just need too much heat to ripen, and we don't have long enough summers. So make sure that you pick a variety that can ripen relatively quickly. Most of my varieties are actually just from local fig growers, so I don't even have like a real name for this specific fig. And hey, if you manage to get a fig from a local grower that's growing really well for them, then that's a win. You know it's going to grow well for you. When we have a really cold winter, sometimes there's dieback, but a lot of people ask if I wrap it, and I absolutely do not. I don't wrap my fig tree. If it's gonna die back, it'll just sprout from the ground. Our winters aren't really that cold here. We rarely drop below 10 degrees, and we don't drop below 0, so that's lucky. This next one is a new plant that I've never grown before, but my friend at Fantastic Gardens, they have just so many cool plants there, and one of the things they specialize in are passion fruit. This is a Passiflora edulis, and that's the one that you get at the grocery store. It's going to ripen soon, really cool flowers. It's a vine. Unfortunately, caterpillars love passion vines. They are a host plant for butterflies. A couple like the Gulf fritieri, which is not native to here. That butterfly actually only, as far as I know, will eat passion vines. So that's a really important species of plant for them. But it seems like they are beloved by pretty much any caterpillar that wants to become a butterfly. Either way, though, it doesn't seem to stop these plants from producing. This one doesn't have any flowers or fruit on it yet, but again, it's kind of young. I think that next year I'll get some. I'm going to put it in the ground next year, so that way it's got a really good fighting chance to get lots of fruit. Also, shout out to my friend Jason in Utah. Jason Baker's growing really cool pomegranates, and he gave some of these to me. They're called Elaines Hardy. They're named after his grandma and have survived temperatures in zone 6 without any problem. So next year, I'm going to find a spot to plant these in the ground and hopefully get some really tasty pomegranates up here in New York. So thanks so much, Jason. As far as I know, I'm the first one who's growing this variety out on the East Coast, but they've done very well on the western half of the country in the cold there. So different climate, but we definitely get cold here too. So we'll see. Of course, I love my bananas for their aesthetic, but this is not going to produce any fruit. So we're going to move along. All right, so I'm cheating a little bit because we're moving away from the... Oh, hello, pumpkin. Hi, how are you? So we've moved away from the driveway, and now we're talking about apples. Oh my gosh, that apple's not looking so good. So yes, it smells like rotting apples here, which is just fabulous because I didn't pick these fast enough. So it is apple season, and these do pretty well. Honestly, I mean, we live in the Big Apple, so you figure that they would, and they're doing good. So you just need 2 apple species, and that's why they're not really great for containers, because they need to cross-pollinate with each other to produce good fruit. And 2 trees is kind of like a big commitment, so maybe not the best fruit for you. Really wish I liked the taste of this citrus. It's called a Calamondin, and I don't know what it's supposed to taste like, but it tastes like lemons to me, but not as flavorful. I don't know, it's like sour. I just don't love it, but what I do love is how perfect it is for a container. I don't know any other citrus that like holds its fruit for this long and looks this good. it's a very pretty looking plant. So if you want like a pretty citrus, and you could use it like in salads and stuff, like just use it like you would use a lemon. If you want that, this is a good one for you, but it doesn't ripen very quickly. So I do keep it in the garage during the winter, but it takes like more than a year for this fruit to ripen. Like this is from last summer. These have been on the tree since last summer, and they're just now, you see they're changing color now, they're just now getting ready to pick. All right, also not on the driveway, but this last one is a rant. I don't know what to do anymore, and I need some help, because I have grown this persimmon for 2 years now. 2 years it has been taking up backyard space, and every May and June, I get flowers, and then I start to get fruit, and then all the fruit drops off. And I know it doesn't need a pollinator. I've done so much research on this plant. I don't know what's going on with you, but I had a fruit on it when I bought it. There was a fruit on it when I bought it 2 years ago, and it has never fruited since, and I just want a persimmon. This is called Giro. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it is a non-astringent variety, which means that it's not going to make your mouth feel like you got a bunch of cotton in it if it's not ripe. If you've ever bitten into a persimmon that's not ripe, if it's an astringent variety, it like sucks all the moisture out of your mouth. It's so gross. It's not harmful. Bananas will do that to you also. If you have a green banana, that can kind of have an astringency to it. It kind of like sucks the moisture out of your mouth if you have a unripe banana raw. Anyway, so that's my rant. Here are my palm trees. Let me know in the comments below what fruit I need to try next.